Welcome everyone this evening. At our last village board meeting, we passed our annual budget. After many weeks and months of study and review, we had several projects that we also approved, and so this is typically the time of year where we say thank you. We pause before we move on with our village business, and we recognize those who serve not only in the village government, but throughout the year for us and on behalf of us, and we've got a couple of special milestones tonight as well. So we will do that. I have a couple of things to report. First of all, and we do have a little bit of business we have to take care of, but it'll be very short to meet a couple of deadlines. First up, we have on tonight's consent agenda the parking lot paver program. This is a grant funding for parking lots that was provided by the MWRD to install permeable green paver systems. And we've got that going for 2 village parking lots this summer. And so we certainly want to thank Commissioner Mariana Staropoulos and the MWRD for their commitment to assisting municipalities like ours on stormwater management. We do appreciate that. We have Memorial Day coming up. The Robert E. Coulter Jr. Post 1941 in LaGrange will commemorate Memorial Day on Monday, May 27th, with a ceremony at Lyons Township High School North Campus. Beginning at 8:30, there will be the ceremonial bell ringing honoring those LaGrange area residents who have given their lives to our country from the Civil War to the present time. We have the LaGrange Business Association with a downtown special event, and that will take place over the next few weeks. We have our West End and downtown districts will feature our summer art exhibit, the annual summer art exhibit, which is this year fun and games in LaGrange, dozens of unique hand-painted game tables sponsored by local businesses and organizations that are decorated by local artists and displayed throughout the town. And of course, in September, those will be auctioned off for nonprofit community-based organizations. More information, LaGrange Business Association, lgba.com. We also have a seminal event in our village coming up, of course, the LaGrange Pet Parade and the carnival associated with that on Friday, May 31st, continuing through Sunday, June 2nd, the 73rd Annual Pet Parade with the theme of celebrating heroes and superheroes will be held on June 1st from 9:30 to 11. And of course, everybody is invited to attend this event. Now, I am going to reposition here in a moment to say thank you on a couple of things, but at this time I'll ask Andre if you would give your village manager's report, and I'll move around here.
Thank you, Mr. President. Over the past several weeks, the IDOT contractor has been working on repairing the sidewalks at street intersections to make them compliant with various standards. As the sidewalk work is nearing its completion, we will be shifting to roadway resurfacing. The contractor has divided milling and resurfacing work into 2 phases. The first phase of the work will be from Joliet Road to just north of 47th Street and will take place roughly from May 10th to June 10th. The second phase will be from just north of 47th Street to 31st Street and will take place from June 3rd to approximately July 10th. On-street parking will be allowed intermittently during the day and available in the evening. Signs will be posted in the area notifying motorists of parking restrictions. Pedestrians are reminded to be careful, and additional notices will be provided as the construction activities progress. The village offers a 50-50 sidewalk program, which, based on available funding, equally shares the cost of replacing damaged sidewalks with village residents. The program is administered on a first-come, first-served basis. Interested residents are asked to please email our Director of Public Works, Ryan Gillingham, rgillingham@villageoflagrange.com. The Village Hall will be closed on Monday, May 27th in observance of Memorial Day. A full complement of public safety personnel will be available in the event of an emergency. Regular business hours will resume on Tuesday, May 28th, and the regular village board meeting scheduled for May 27th will also be canceled, and the next regularly scheduled village board meeting will be held on Monday, June 10th, beginning at 7:30 p.m. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Andre. Is Mariana Staropoulos here yet? She's just walking in. Okay. Welcome. Oh, see what an entrance this is. First of all, in LaGrange, besides our boards and commissions, you've noted over the years at this time, we've had the Garden Club, we've had the LaGrange Area Historical Society, we've had state elected officials from both parties to say thank you for a particular project that has occurred within our village in the last year. And the background on this thank you is that in 1926, the village residents, your forebears, passed a referendum to pay for a pipe. And that pipe was to handle stormwater south of 47th Street, and it went into a place called the McCook Ditch. And that pipe served its function ably, paid for by your predecessors. In the early 1990s, things changed. The pipe was severed. The water undeniably kept coming, and so it would move into the quarry. As do all good villages, after a while, a village rises up and says it's time to modernize. It's time to handle the capacity. We've had more building, and we need to, once again, take matters into our own hands. And there was a referendum passed, and in that referendum, which was approved, the funding for improving our stormwater system occurred. I'll jump to the end because in the middle there was quite a discussion, I'll put it in quotes, with our neighbor, the quarry, as to the best mitigation and disposition of that stormwater. Long story short, the matter was settled, and we were able to reach an agreement that allows the project to move forward. So that has happened in the last few months. There's 3 people that were very significant allies in that effort, and I'll handle them one at a time. We'll call them up and say thank you and maybe ask them to say a few words. The first one is Representative Dan Lipinski. Representative Lipinski, who is an engineer, who is someone who is focused on infrastructure, I don't think we would have made it, folks, had his office and Brian from his office. Where's Brian? Would you stand up? He's usually in the back. Or has he left? He's at Palm. Oh, there he is, right there. All right, now you can sit down, because Brian was active because he had a boss. He had a boss that was even more active in Dan Lipinski. And so Representative Lipinski was firm with us. He was fair. He was fact-based. He wasn't going to just let us raise our voice and get what we want. We made the case. He went 10 out of 10 rounds with us until we got a settlement. And again, I don't think we would have made it without his assistance in this. So, Representative Lipinski, would you please come up here? Thank you. And do we have a plaque or something? We can at least give you a plaque for all your efforts. It's a manhole cover, says Trustee Holder. Engraved. On behalf of the village of LaGrange, it's our pleasure to provide this plaque to you with really the provisions of thanks and appreciation for a Herculean effort. We've got a long way to go, but this got us there and really put us in a different place, going to help a lot of people. So thank you.
Thank you very much. I remember the mayor coming to me a few years ago and talking about issues with flooding. You need to do something about the flooding, and so things moved forward here in LaGrange, and then the problems arose with the quarry. And it was, to put it mildly, not easy dealing with the quarry, dealing with Hanson. And we went back and forth, and I really want to thank Mariana Spiropoulos, who, as president of MWRD, stood there with us and fought with us to get this done, to make sure the water had a place to go. This took a lot more work than it probably should have, more work than I expected it to. I'm not sure how many times we thought we had it done, and then let's just say someone said that no, we wasn't done, but finally we all came together. But this is what happens when elected officials all work together. Elected officials on all different levels come together, fight together for their constituents. You can get good, important things done. So thank you very much, Mayor, Tom, for all your work. Thanks, Andre, for your work in this battle. And as I said, thank Mariana Spiropoulos and also McCook Mayor Jeff Tobolski and the County Commissioner Tobolski for his work in all this. But it's great to see something good get done. So thank you very much for this.
Great, thank you. Thanks again. The next person we want to say thank you to is a ball of energy, a bright energy, an elected official who is enthusiastic and is part of an organization that, to me, in local government is a modern miracle. It's an organization that takes the long view. This is not an organization, the Water Reclamation District, Metropolitan Water Reclamation District, MWRD, does not look over the windshield of the car every 2 years election. They're doing projects that last 10 and 20 years. And that's really, when you're dealing with regional stormwater, the scale, the massive scale in which we have to look at these things. And they really do a remarkable job. They're very technical, fact-based, and somebody who was very responsive to us. And that was really a reflection from the top again. So I'd like to call up Commissioner Mariana Spiropoulos to receive our thanks. Come on up. Great job. Well, yeah. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, President Livingston. This is quite unexpected. As he mentioned, the Water Reclamation District is an agency that does take the long view. We've been around for about 130 years. Reversing the river is just one of the things that we've done. I wasn't around for that, by the way, but but these kind of moments are the most satisfying when we can work with communities to solve their specific problems. We've got the deep tunnel, 109 miles of intersecting tunnels, 3 reservoirs, one of the largest reservoirs in the world, which will hold 10 billion gallons of stormwater, which sounds like a lot of water, but when you've had the rains that we had last week, 1 inch of rain throughout Cook County is about 14 billion gallons of water. So what we do can make a small dent in that and reduce flooding, hopefully, in people's basements. But like I said, specifically, these kind of projects are satisfying when we can help communities, and as Congressman Lipinski said, working together with all levels of government is key. That's what we should be doing. It shouldn't be the exception. It should be the norm. But when you've got great partners like these two guys, it makes it a lot easier. So thank you very much. I'm humbled by this recognition, and I hope that we can continue to work together. Thanks again.
And Mayor Tobolski, he's got a board meeting too, and I thought it would be rude if we all went over there to his board meeting and took over the agenda. So we'll get him another time. But we appreciate him, a great neighbor. They've done a lot of really neat things with their development, their Centerpoint properties over there in McCook. And as many of you, if you know him, he's here quite a bit in LaGrange, partaking in our downtown. So we do appreciate that. All right. So that is the first thank you of the evening. And again, we have a lot more to do on this project, and we're committed to it. And we're already out doing the testing and things, so we'll continue to communicate with the public on that project. We have another big milestone tonight, and that is the retirement of our fire chief, Chief Don Gay. This is a special person in our village's life. He is, yes, he is the fire chief, but I can tell you, I can especially tell the gentlemen and ladies in the back room that he is more of a firefighter. Yes, he's in management, but he never lost that desire to advocate for the rank and file in the department, to continue to enhance its professionalism. He is somebody who is also a resident of LaGrange, so he sees it from a 360-degree view. And Don is somebody that we have relied on to give us the truth about what's best, what the future looks like, what we shouldn't forget as a community in terms of the most basic thing a village can do, and that is to keep people safe and to get them to their next day and to really enjoy a high quality of life. So with that, what do we have here? We have a proclamation, and we're going to put poor Don on the spot. I'm going to make him say something. Didn't tell him ahead of time. You're welcome. And we'll bring that over. Great. Oh, here. And I might ask the members of the LaGrange Fire Department to come up here as well. Everyone, please, that's here. And the family, Don's family. Come on over here, Chief. And I would also like to acknowledge our former Fire Chief, Bill Brzgalski, who is here tonight, who also did a great job. Lipinski, Staropoulos, and Brzgalski. Are there any Smiths in the room? Don, on behalf of the residents of LaGrange and the entire community, it's an honor to present you with this plaque. It's nowhere near covers your tenure, your integrity, your service to the village. You're always welcome here. Our door is always open, and we thank you very much.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you for those nice words. I would be much more comfortable crawling around in a fire right now. To my family, thank you for your support during this journey. To the village board and village staff, thank you for the opportunity to serve as the fire chief. And I appreciate your support that you've given to me, and not only to me, but also the department. I am fortunate to have worked with such a fine, outstanding, and dedicated management team here. The village is very lucky. To the department members, both past and present, and for those of our neighboring communities, thank you for your support, your hard work, your dedication, and your friendship. Thank you.
Well deserved. Thank you, Don. And we know both the president and the congressman have to go to other things, so that's understandable as well. In November 2018, the Environmental Quality Commission recommended that the village participate in a U.S. Department of Energy funded recognition program for municipalities that have taken steps to reduce barriers to solar energy. The village board approved a resolution participating in the program, and over the past several months, staff has begun working along with the Metropolitan Mayor's Caucus to pursue a Soul Smart designation. In order to meet the requirements, the village must complete initiatives organized into 3 categories: permitting, zoning, and special focus. As a result of these efforts, the village has been honored with a bronze designation. Additional efforts are planned in the future as the village undertakes a comprehensive review of its zoning code. We appreciate the work of our residents on the Environmental Quality Commission and staff. And I guess a plaque recognizing this achievement will be presented. Do we have one right there?
We do. Would you like to present?
Who here is from the EQC, the Environmental Quality Commission? Oh boy, come on up. You didn't know you were coming up either, did you? Tim Sheldon. All right. All the way up here. Do we have a mic? No speeches. Get a picture. Let's we'll get a picture, but all of you who are on boards and commissions, you're going to get the mic to pass and tell your name, but we'll just take care of this now. Oh, here, I'm going to get out of the picture. It looks like a photo mount. Thank you. Take that home. Like the Stanley Cup, you can take it home. I'll give that back. I took that and I didn't mean to. Mike O'Connor, our LT Dispatch Center, has a plaque for Don. Sorry, did I jump the rails, didn't I? Mike runs our joint dispatch with Western Springs, LaGrange Park, and LaGrange. It's been a great success. I think you're going to have to chase him down the stairs, Mike, but thank you for, oh, there he is. Okay. I thought, I saw the tumult back there. I wasn't sure.
I'll just embarrass you one-on-one. Come on. Thank you for giving me a moment tonight. Yeah, beep, beep, beep. It's my revenge. I've only been the director of LTAC now for just about 6 months. Don's reputation long preceded that, and I knew of Don, but I can't thank him enough for the last 6 months. He quickly became a friend and a confidant. He was always a supporter of LTAC from day one when they started building it. His name is inscribed in our wall in a very professional way that we'll miss him, but I wanted to take a moment tonight to present him with both a proclamation and a plaque, thanking him for his unending support to the dispatch center. We're going to miss him a lot. He's a great sounding ear, and I hope you stop by frequently because I'm always looking for somebody to talk to. So congratulations on your retirement, and I'm going to miss you.
All right. Mike, thank you. Apologies for the out of sequence there. There we go. If we could pass the microphone out, I'd like the members now, as we go to item D, which is the recognition of our boards and commissions people, to stand up, introduce yourself, and just indicate which board you serve on, and then we'll move into a brief description, and then we have oaths of office after that. So, Ryan, we'll let you pick. This is very exciting. Right there.
Sure, yeah.
Hi, I'm Greg Pace. I'm on the Plan Commission.
Laura Wyrock, Plan Commission. Where's Wayne?
Wayne Kardatsky, Planning Commission.
Caroline Dillon, Community Economic Development Committee.
Kevin Cahill, Design Review Committee.
John Pappas, Zoning Board of Appeals.
Tim Sheldon, Environmental Quality Commission.
Dave Bryant, Environmental Quality Commission.
Rose Nassif, Environmental Quality Commission.
Linda Christensen, Environmental Quality Commission.
Hi, Tim Reardon with the Design Review Committee.
Hi, Regina McClinton, Design Review Committee.
Steve Palmer with the Economic Development Commission.
Camille Hall with the Economic and Development Commission.
Russ Roberto, also with the Community and Economic Development Commission.
Michael Buttrand, CEDC.
Betsy Stiles, Community and Economic Development Commission.
Tom Cassidy, Community and Economic Development Commission.
Lisa Schur, Community and Economic Development Commission.
Beth Augustine, Community Economic Development Commission.
Curtis Linder, Trustee representing the Village of LaGrange and the Treasurer of the West Suburban Mass Transit District.
Great. Thank you all. We're going to go through a quick description of the many things. I'll start with Andre, and then we'll offer our thanks officially after that.
I have the pleasure of starting with the Board of Fire and Police Commissioners. In accordance with state statute, the Board of Fire and Police Commissioners oversees certain personnel matters within the fire and police departments. More specifically, they are responsible for the initial appointment of all full-time firefighter paramedics and police officers. They make promotional appointments and they administer disciplinary action. The Board of Fire and Police Commission is in the process of hiring a new police officer to fill an existing vacancy. On the commission, Elise Hoffenberg, 5 years of service and current chairperson. Brian Borsma, appointed in June of 2018. And Paul Kirpin, 6 years.
Trustee Kotinek.
My pleasure. Thanks, Mr. President. So I'd like to present the Community and Economic Development Commission, also known as the CEDC, who considers and makes recommendations to the Village Board regarding economic development issues and matters related to the relationship between residential neighborhoods and the commercial business district. The CEDC stays abreast of current economic trends and issues through their quarterly meetings. Additionally, over the last year, the CEDC provided oversight for the Downtown Valet program and made recommendations to the Village Board in regards to its operations. In this past year, the CEDC also provided valuable input regarding the Village's newly amended brand strategy. So I'd like to recognize the following participants along with their tenure, starting with the Chairman Russ Roberto for 5 years, Michael Matucci, who was appointed in December of 2018, Michael Buttrand, 1 year, Marcus Washington, 2 years, Tom Cassidy, 3 years, Greg D. Domenico, 3 years, Beth Augustine, 3 years, Caroline Dillon, 4 years, Camille Hall, 4 years, Jimmy Janewski, 4 years, Lisa Scher, 5 years, Rebecca Wimbush, 8 years, Margaret Carlson, 11 years, Elizabeth Stile, 11 years, and Steve Palmer, 19 years. Thank you all for your service to the village.
Trustee Kukler.
Thank you, President Livingston. The I'm going to announce the names of the Design Review Commission, which reviews matters related to the Central Business District facade renovation restoration programs, reviews and offers recommendations to the Village Board on design review applications within the Design Overlay District, which generally encompasses the Central Business District along LaGrange Road, Hillgrove, and Burlington Avenues, and also administers the village's commercial building comprehensive sign plan. In the past year, the Design Review Commission recommended approval of several renovations to existing businesses and improvements to accommodate new businesses. The DRC reviewed and recommended approval of such as Becknell Industrial, located at 120 East Burlington Avenue, Blackberry Market, located at 36 South LaGrange Road, Lux Honor, located at 311 West Hillgrove. The DRC also reviewed and recommended approval of a facade renovation and second floor addition at 19 through 23 West Harris Avenue to accommodate a new 8,000 square foot restaurant called Madison. So the names three are here tonight, starting with Tim Reardon, who's the chairperson and has been with the commission for 12 years, Kevin Cahill, who was just recently appointed, Regina McClinton, who's served for 28 years, Marcy Dunn, also recently appointed, Christine Banks, who's been on for 1 year, Justin Hansen, who's also been on for 1 year, and Kurt Wisthoff, who's been on for 3 years. So I thank them for all their dedication and service.
All right, Trustee McCarty.
Thank you very much, President Livingston. I'm happy and proud to be not only the trustee liaison, but also the chair of the Environmental Quality Commission and the fine members on that commission. The Environmental Quality Commission continues to be active in helping to raise public awareness of environmental issues and green initiatives in the village. This past year, the EQC has expanded its role to consider a wider range of environmental matters. These matters include both short-term and long-term sustainability initiatives. The EQC recommended the village adopt the Metropolitan Mayor's Caucus Greenest Region Compact, which provides a template for municipalities to use to set their own sustainability and objectives to create plans. The EQC has also held the world-famous Holiday Light Recycling, where we recycled a complete dumpster full of Christmas lights. And remember, it's never too early to clean out the attic and save those holiday lights for recycling. And the pumpkin recycling events, which we co-did with the Village of LaGrange Park. The Commission also has recommended the participation in the Soul Smart designation, which you saw the award for this evening. I'm happy to say that we have 15 members on the Commission. Lori Braun was recently appointed. Dave Bryant, Tim Sheldon, and Joel Bass were both appointed this year. Well, all three were appointed this year. Mary Gertzmeyer and Bill Robeson were appointed a year ago. Rose Nassif and Rebecca Davies have been on the Commission for 5 years, and Linda Christensen has been on the Commission for 10 years. Thank you all for your service.
Trustee Gale.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have the pleasure of introducing our Plan Commissioners. The Plan Commission reviews and recommends applications for special use permits, plan development approval, site plan approval, amendments to the zoning code and official map, the vacation of public rights-of-way, and subdivision plats. During the last fiscal year, the Plan Commission conducted public hearings and considered applications for text amendments to accommodate new business types in both the commercial and industrial zoning districts. The Plan Commission also reviewed a large plan development for the proposed Mason Point subdivision consisting of 72 new dwelling units, which were 12 single-family homes and 58 townhome units. The Plan Commission also reviewed a small plan development for a 50-unit condominium building adjacent to the BNSF railroad tracks. The Plan Commission continues to review the zoning code and provide recommendations for updates and revisions as warranted. Our commission is made up of Wayne Kardatsky, who's served for 23 years and is the current chairperson, Glenn Wentick, who has served for 2 years, Jeffrey Hoffenberg, who has served for 2 years, Dave Schwartz, who served for 4 years, Julie Egan, who has served for 5 years, Greg Pace, who has served for 11 years, and Laura Wyrack, who has served for 12 years and is the current vice chair. Thank you all very much.
Trustee Holder.
Thank you, President Livingston. It's my pleasure to talk a little bit about the Zoning Board of Appeals. The ZBA reviews applications for relief from one or more requirements of the village's zoning code. They conduct public hearings, and they make recommendations to the Board of Trustees regarding those applications for zoning variances. Typical requests relate to front, side, and rear yard setbacks for single-family homes, building coverage for single-family homes, building coverage and setbacks for the replacement of detached garages and fences and the like. Currently chaired by John Pappas for 4 years. Also just appointed on June 11th of last year was Tom Lovato. Serving for the last 2 years is Clayton Edwards. Laura Tusing also for 2 years. Laura Blentlinger has been on for 5 years. Michael Finder has served with pleasure for 9 years. And Peter O'Connor has served for 10 years. Thank you all so much for your service.
Andre?
Thank you. The West Suburban Mass Transit District was created in 1970 through a federal endowment to monitor passenger rail services provided by the Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railroad and Metra, provide financial assistance to member communities to implement commuter-related improvements, and financially support system-wide improvements such as purchasing passenger rail cars to be used exclusively on the Chicago to Aurora rail line. LaGrange is a charter member of the organization. As such, the village appoints a resident to the district's Board of Trustees. The village's current representative to the district is Curtis Linder, who has served on the board since 2009. He is currently an executive officer on the board, serving as treasurer, and he has been instrumental in assisting the village in securing grant funding for initiatives at both the LaGrange Road and Stone Avenue train stations. We thank him for his service.
Chief? We'll skip Chief Police, and then we'll go back to, he's already retired.
Know what I'm here for?
Yeah. The Fire Pension Board. Here, we'll go to the Chief Bluter, and then we'll come back.
Police Pension Board was created according to Illinois state statute to review pension investment activity and evaluate disability claims, fitness for duty, and other matters of an operational nature. Andrew James is one of 2 resident members of the 5-member Police Pension Board. Mr. James has served on the board since July of 2017. Mike Lannon is the 2nd resident member of the 5-member Police Pension Board. Mr. Lannon has served on the board since June of 2018.
Great, we thank them. And Chief Gay?
Yes, Kevin Sheehan and John Peterson, Pension Board advisory members. Fire Pension Board was created according to the Illinois state statute and review pension investment activity and evaluate disability claims, fitness for duty, and other matters of operational nature. Kevin Sheehan is one of 2 resident members of the 5-member Pension Board. Mr. Sheehan has served on the Pension Board since June of 2014. John Peterson is the 2nd resident, a member of the board, 5-member Pension Board. Mr. Peterson has served on the Fire Board since June of 2015.
Thank you all. Can, after the meeting, please stick around for a little reception. That's the least we can do. You've given us 2 valuable things. You've given us your time, and you've given us your expertise. And this village is successful because of both of what you provide to us. We have active boards. These boards really vet, think through things, and keep an eye on what's next in the village. And it's kept us a very vibrant and competitive place to live, to work, and really to exist at a high quality level for all our residents. So this is something on behalf of all of the board. We can't thank you enough. We look forward to working with you through the course of the year. It was an amazing year. And, you know, everything from underground pipes to pensions to more of the downtown economic development. There's not something you don't touch with your many hands in the village. So we do appreciate that. Mr. Clerk, please read the items on the consent agenda.
Certainly. Matters on the consent agenda will be considered by a single motion and vote because they have already been fully considered by the board at a previous meeting or have been determined to be of a routine nature. Any member of the Board of Trustees may request that an item be removed from the consent agenda and moved to current business for separate consideration. Item A, contract, construction of the permeable paver parking lots at Village Hall and Lot 8, and construction engineering agreement. Item B, ordinance, approvals of the final plat of subdivision and public access easement 441 9th Avenue, Mason Point. Item C, engineering services agreement, Baxter and Woodman, construction services at 441 9th Avenue, Mason Point. Item D, minutes of the Village of LaGrange Board of Trustees regular meeting Monday, April 22nd, 2019. Item E, consolidated voucher 190513.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. We have no items under current business this evening. Item number 4 on our agenda is public comments regarding items that are on our agenda this evening. Seeing none. Item 5, consideration of the consent agenda.
I move that we accept the consent agenda as presented.
Thank you, Trustee Holder.
Second.
Thank you, Trustee McCarty. It's been moved and seconded. Further questions, comments on the motion? Seeing none. Mr. Clerk, roll call vote.
Trustee Gale.
Aye.
Trustee Katina.
Aye.
Trustee Kukler.
Aye.
Trustee McCarty.
Aye.
Trustee Holder.
Aye.
With that, the motion passes. Item number 7 is recognition of a retiring village trustee, Malia Arnett. And Malia is a very accomplished person. She's the CEO of our organization, which brings her out of town a lot. And so she was with us for a term in the village. But really, Malia's contributions to the village predate her time on the village board. She was a small business owner. She's somebody we've had many conversations with over the years. And we'll want to send her a copy of this recording. So might I indulge you all to give Malia a round of applause for her great service on the board. Thank you, Malia. All right, the time has come to administer the oaths of office, seating of newly elected officials and re-elected officials as a result of municipal elections on April 2nd, 2019. At this time, we'll go in alphabetical order, and Mr. Clerk, I'd like you to start your engines. Take the
Certainly.
position if you would.
Thank you.
Oh, do we need to temporarily adjourn yet? No. After.
Beth Augustine, would you join us, please? I see you're accompanied by Charlie in good company. Well, it's with great pleasure that I am here to administer the oath of office to someone who represents the 5th generation of your family to serve on the village board. So on behalf of everyone in the village, everyone on the board and staff, thank you. Now, if you would repeat after me, please. Raise your right hand. I,
I,
Beth Augustine,
Beth Augustine,
having been elected
having been elected
to the office of village trustee,
office of village trustee,
do solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
support the Constitution
of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Illinois, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of village trustee to the best of my ability. Congratulations and welcome. I see you brought the team. Great. Well, again, it's my pleasure to, for the second time, administer the oath of office to you, Michael.
Thank you.
So thank you for your service thus far, and thank you for your service yet to come. If you would
Pleasure.
repeat after me, I,
Mike Katinek,
having been elected to the office
been elected to the
of
office
village trustee,
village trustee,
do solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States,
and the Constitution
Constitution
of the State of Illinois,
of Illinois,
that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office
the office
of village trustee
village trustee
to the best of my ability.
by ability.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations again. Well, welcome, family. And Mark, you know the drill, but let's go through it. You please raise your right hand and say after me, I,
Mark Kukler,
having been elected to the office
having been elected to the office
of village trustee,
village trustee,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution
support the Constitution
of the United States and the Constitution
Constitution
of the State of Illinois, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of village trustee
village trustee.
to the best of my ability. Thanks. Congratulations. Thank you so much.
Congratulations again. We're going to take 1 minute to reset and reseat the new board, and then we'll hit the home stretch on our meeting. So if you give us a moment, please. Trustee Augustine.
Thank you.
All right. Congratulations again to all three trustees. Welcome, Trustee Augustine. Here we go. With that, item 8 is complete. Item 9, public comments regarding matters that are not on our agenda this evening. All right, seeing none. Item 10, trustee comments. Trustee comments this evening? Well, sure.
Dave Vito.
My name is Mike Beadle. I'm a 20-year resident of LaGrange, and I just wanted to bring something to your attention. I wanted to mention the lead water pipes and road construction, water sewer work. What the city of Chicago has, through studies, shown when you do such work, the phosphate coating on the lead pipes are knocked off, and it can be exposure route. I know there is some construction going on right now, and I'm just bringing it to your attention. Is there a possibility to work with residents when there is such work going on to determine who has lead pipes and maybe facilitate either through education or permit fee, hookup fees, reduction or waived fees to help them replace their lead pipes, because we are an older community, there are lead pipes. And I'm speaking from experience. About 6 years ago, there was major construction on Maple Avenue, and I worked really closely with Ryan Gillingham to get my lead pipe replaced, and he helped me coordinate the hookup and basically when they cut off my line and then hooked up the new pipe, the copper pipe that I had put out there. So I think there's some opportunities for the village to do it. I don't know if they're doing such a thing or doing an inventory on what lead supply pipes you have in the community, but when there is sewer and water pipe construction work, I don't know if that's going on in Ashland or Catherine or over in that area. There might be an opportunity to facilitate residents getting new copper hookups to supply lines. So I just wanted to bring that to all your attention and something maybe the village could work at.
I think we're glad you mentioned that, certainly. Thanks for taking the time to raise that this evening. Ryan, do you want to give just a quick update on some of the aspects of that?
Sure. That's a big part of our current program where we're replacing water mains. As part of the new approach to lead, we're offering residents 3 options for replacing their lead line, or 3 options when we come through to do the line. First of all, we offer residents an option to participate with the village as part of the water main replacement project, where they can work with us to have the lead line replaced at a cost of $5,000, and this is for the private lead service line. The second option is residents have the option on their own to hire their own contractor. And the third option is to make them aware of that they have a lead line, and then the resident would choose not to participate. In addition to that, since 2013, we have been tracking where lead service line and copper service lines exist throughout the village, and we make that information available on the village's website.
And just to finish, maybe just speak about the general schedule with Blackstone and Ashland and such.
Sure. So we currently have 3 water main replacement projects going on. The first project is the Brewster Avenue water main replacement, and that project will be finishing up in the next several weeks as we finish the crossing of LaGrange Road. The next 2 projects are the Ashland and Blackstone water main replacement projects, and that's from 47th to Cossett for the Ashland project, or excuse me, 47th to Harris for the Ashland project, and 47th to Cossett for Blackstone. Generally speaking, the water mains are approximately 85% installed, and right now we're going back through and working to transfer the service lines from the old water main to the new, which includes probably half of the residents that have participated in the new lead service line replacement program. Once the water mains are finished, we'll then begin the roadway resurfacing program. We're hoping to have that on the board agenda for June 10th.
Thank you, Ryan. And again, thank you for raising that. We'll certainly continue to advise the public, and this is really a hot topic. We keep a keen eye on the matters of water quality, water health and safety in LaGrange, and so that's been something we've done for a long time, and it's a public document. So,
And President Livingston?
Yes, sir.
One other thing, Ryan, none of the mains in LaGrange are lead, is that correct?
That's correct. So the water mains generally are made of ductile iron or cast iron. The lead service lines that exist are on the private lines from the village's water main to the home. We certainly encourage residents, whether there's a water main replacement project or not, to replace their lead service lines if resources permit.
Thank you, Trustee McCarty. Thank you, Ryan. All right, with that, any other items under 9 this evening? Yes, sir. Trustee comments?
Thank you. I just wanted to personally thank Chief Gay for all of his service. It's really appreciated. To his family, thank you for sharing, your husband, your father. I know it was a sacrifice. And Don, thank you for all you did. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Trustee Kukler. Other trustee comments this evening?
Me.
Trustee Holder.
I'd like to echo that. Don's also a friend for a long time and a neighbor, and you will be sorely missed. Your leadership, not only in the department but also in the community, is a testament to the kind of person that you are and the kind of family that you've raised as well, as they demonstrate in their uniforms. You're a shining example of what it is to truly serve and to truly lead, and I can't say thank you enough.
Thank you, Trustee Holder. Any other comments? Trustee McCarty.
Don, I also would like to thank you for your service and point out that as both a friend and a neighbor, it's great to have you around. Thanks also for the time you brought the whole fire department to my house because my daughter and your daughter had called on a smoke alarm that was going off, and it was the right thing to do. Nothing like coming home from work and finding the fine police and fire department at your house, but it was a good thing. And that's the way it was. You were always there. A neighborhood party, if you saw something that wasn't safe, you'd point it out. And everybody knew they could always ask you something about their house. If it was safe, it was the right thing to do. So thanks for all you've done.
Thank you, Trustee McCarty. Any other trustee comments as we finish here? I might just ask as we finish for Don's family to stand up. Why don't you stand up because you were in a crowd before. You've loaned him to us for a long time, so thank you for that. We have no items for closed session. Would seek a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 We are adjourned until June the 10th. Thank you.